In a unit like the SAS, you always have to prove yourself in all the old school ways. Fitness, strength, and mental toughness. But you also have to embrace new ideas and new technology. And now the police are taking the same approach and using facial recognition, powered by AI, to sniff out suspects. So this morning I'm on the streets of Cheshire with the Cheshire Constabulary. The crime's been committed, we're going on the hunt after shoplifters. They think they got away with it, but I'll tell you what, they're just about to get a visit at their homes.
Morning everybody, this is our fourth day of action in relation to Operation Contrite. So these are the packs here where people have been identified as being suspects for a shoplifting in the Cheshire area.
Well, we've run an operation today just regarding facial recognition. When people commit crimes, if that then crime or the person themselves is picked up on an image, or whether that's on CCTV in a shop as an example, that then image can be sent through to the police, whereby then we will run it through a facial recognition platform just to see if we can identify that individual who may then be on that footage. So part of the operation today is those who've been identified through facial recognition that have committed a crime, we then have the name of that said individual, and part of the operation today is those who've been named, particularly around shoplifting today, is that we will then go and find them to arrest them for that offence.
Shoplifting is a big problem and is now being committed by crime gangs and repeat offenders.
It's nationwide. Shoplifting is on the rise, and therefore as policing, certainly we want to be catching those individuals who are going into those stores, whether that's a major retail store or one of the local independent shops in any town or village in the country.
This is interesting. Seems Chester Police's visual ID technicians are putting the faces of suspects into AI analysis.
Potential suspect for shoplifting in Sainsbury's.
Elena Rhodes is a police technician and has been sent an image of a suspect shoplifter who got away.
From here we will run the image onto the database, and then hopefully within a short period of time we will get a result back. The images we set through for P&D for facial recognition, we crop the images from their head to the shoulders, run them through the national database, and then the algorithm will generate images that it believes are the most likely suspects. So we've got the images back, we've got 3 results here. And this top one here, it's come back at 84%, which is quite high. So our procedure normally is anything above 80% we automatically run through, but I do always like just to double check, just to make sure that there are defining features that I can put forward with a bit more confidence to help the officers to make sure that they are making a good prosecution.
Yeah, in terms of the ears and the nose, the shape and size, it looks really good.
AI has scanned 19 million images in seconds and given Chester Police the names of suspect shoplifters, and now the police can go out armed with solid intel.
No, we'll be knocking on their doors and it'll be a surprise. They will think that they've got away with it, because if they weren't challenged in the shop, they'll have already walked and be scot-free, so we'll be knocking on their door.
Shoplifting has skyrocketed recently, with figures for thefts doubling in 1 year. And my first thought is, what are people stealing from shops here in Chester? It's high-value stuff they're going after, or is it just, it could be anything?
Not necessarily. Anything that can be sold. The majority of our shopliftings to sell on in order to fund their lifestyle. Right, everybody, enjoy the day and let's see what we can get.
We're just about to go out now on what would be a deliberate option. We've got the intelligence, slow time, we're going to strike in our time when we're ready and they're vulnerable. Is there anybody at the target house now, waiting, covering it in case he doesn't run it, or are we going to go straight in and strike?
So it's the best sort of tactic we've got, really. The element of surprise.
Yeah.
To try and catch him when he's least expecting it. But the way you see it, people who are always on it, they half expect it all the time, so.
For somebody like him, I wouldn't call it surveillance aware, but he is aware. And
yeah.
He's ready to be on his toes,
yeah.
And he'll preempt something coming.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
I guess we have to be pretty sharpish when you get there and strike quickly. Facial recognition techniques are an important part of SAS training, but it's not just your face that can give you away. facials is always the difficult one, and particularly today as well, because they wear hoodies and they wear masks to cover themselves. So a lot of the identification would be on the way they walk and the way, you know, people have a certain way of walking. So let's roll. So this is the target location now. The guys are going to go in, quick knock and straight in. That's definitely a police knock. Now 2 guys ready to strike at the front, and the other 2 guys now going around the back, should they do a runner.
Police, you come to the door.
But it's no joy at the first address. He's either aware that we're here and he's done a runner, or he's already out doing his business. So we'll move on to the next phase of locating him and grabbing wherever he is.
All the shops are linked up to our camera control as well, so if they do see him, they can...
I would assume, though, if he's in the city and he feels like he's going to try and run.
Yeah, he may do. He may do.
I can run. I'm allowed to do a citizen's arrest, right?
You are, yeah.
I'm assisting the police. Even with the greatest intelligence in the world, you can strike a target, and it's just look at the day that they're either there or they're not there. You know, and back in the military, we used to call that a dry hole. You know, intelligence told us they're there. We had everything that we needed, and generally would be there. And then when you go in, you strike. It is a lot of luck that is needed to get the result that you want. But there are many times that it will be a dry hole.
Finding suspects is a game of cat and mouse, so we'll keep on hunting. In Chester, AI has identified the faces of a series of shoplifters who think they've gotten away with their crimes. But we are out on a manhunt for them at every address where they are known.
Pretty confident that that's him.
Yeah.
Brill.
We have several targets, including him. He's been identified by cutting-edge facial recognition software, but trying to track him down is more difficult than we'd anticipated.
So basically it's like a process elimination. This is one of his sort of hangouts, and no sign of him as of yet.
On to the next address.
So how do you build your network around him? How do you know so much intelligence about the guy? Obviously, he's brought attention to himself for the crimes, but then how do you build the intelligent picture around him and his network?
We've got a pretty good system where any sort of information we get, we can submit intelligence. But for example, we can be out on the beat, someone will tell us something, and we can, take details and submit that, and it's the little pieces that you get from all those straps of information, and then there's people up top who piece it together and can make some pretty groundbreaking deductions from it.
That's very much like the way we do it in the military as well. So you've got human int and then technical int. But yeah, it starts with word of mouth or visually seeing something, and then the technical will sort of put the final part of the picture together. And it's just a combination of both and building that picture, isn't it? What bike does he?
I'm not sure exactly. It'll be some sort of mountain bike, I assume.
Just checking out the back just to see if his bike's here for a start, and then see if there's any potential for him to do a run out the back.
No warrant, mate, gone.
They know how to play it, don't they?
There's one final address the police want to check.
We'll keep going, no stone unturned till we find him.
One of the last sightings of the man was at his parents' house.
I heard from him a couple of days back. Can I ask what it's in connection with?
Unfortunately, we can't disclose, just because he's an adult.
I suspect he's probably a bit shoplifting again.
Honestly, we can't say what it is. He keeps you well informed, doesn't he, I'm sure.
Would you be okay if we just had a quick look for your house just for children's side?
If you like, yeah, that's fine.
It's a shame, it brings such problems on decent people, and this is what it does. This is what the crime does. It brings problems to the doors of the people that don't deserve it.
I want to reach out to the suspect's parents now that they've been dragged into this.
How do you feel about all this, what he's bringing to your door?
I hate it and I don't like it, but at the end of the day, he's my son. I can't turn my back on.
No, I wouldn't expect you to. I'm just saying, you know, bringing this stress.
It's not great. He's got into that life.
Yeah, all right.
Can't turn it, as I say. I won't turn my back on.
No, of course not.
But there again, having said that, I won't hide anything for him either.
No, we get it, and at least we can say, you know, we've done that search.
Get hold of him, man.
Sure you would.
Yeah. If he had anything about him and he saw what he's putting his parents through.
Lovely lady.
Yeah, I just feel so sorry for her, you know. But before we can leave, the mum has managed to get through to her son on the phone.
Hello. It's the police, mate. Just need to, well, we need to find you, mate. Where is it you're staying at the moment? Well, I'd rather see you in person, mate. I'm not going to do it over your mum's phone. No, we need to speak to you, mate. It's gonna happen at one point. So, for everyone's sake, just be handy if you let us know where we are and come and chat to you. If you're going to give us all the run around, it's tedious for everyone, mate. It's inevitable, isn't it? We are going to have a chat with you at some point.
You can just see the stress on their family, what this guy is causing for them. We're trying to get a location from him now, actually speaking to him on the phone, and with a view to him handing himself in, or at least telling us where he is.
It's not fair on your parents, mate, is it? You just do the right thing, mate, and just let us know where you are and come and chat to you. Hang up. Doesn't fancy telling us where he is. I wasn't expecting much from him, in all honesty. Appreciate that. I've sort of made it clear to him, you know, we don't want to come around to you guys' house all the time, having a look. It's not fair, is it? And surely he knows that, but thanks for your time.
Asking her to make that call, you know, without putting any pressure or stress on her was a good thing. I've actually done that before, where we had a situation where we're after a very high valuable target, and we ended up with a parent making the call, and the bloke actually walked into the checkpoint the next morning, which was just never expected, but it sometimes works. And so basically what was happening there was, with the support and the help of the family, we tried to make it easy for all of them and get him to admit and tell us where he was, but the chase goes on. He's got nowhere to hide. We will get him. Like the military, hurry up and wait, you know. That moment will come, it's just when. But for now, we've got other suspects to track down. On the ground with Cheshire Police hunting for shoplifters. We're hoping that facial recognition technology will help us track down known offenders, and we are closing in on our targets. Okay, we've got one target possibly going to lift right now.
I believe he is outstanding for a theft of some sort. Have you got the circumstances to hand?
So what, blue jacket, tracky bombs? It's a go, go, go. So she's going to pick up a target right now. Blue jacket, that's the next suspect from our list.
Listen to me, mate. Give us that a second. You're under arrest, mate. Okay, so suspicion of theft is what I'm saying. Right, mate, give you a search. You got anything on you?
He's one of the targets that were briefed this morning, and he's the first one to be taken off the grid today. This man is suspected of stealing high-value items, like aftershave, to sell on. So that's him arrested, and due to the AI intelligence and smart intelligence, being able to lift him today. As he's searched, the police find 3 bottles of scent worth over 500 quid. Okay then, a full day out today with Chester Police, and a result we did get. One off the list. The main one that we went after, unfortunately we didn't get, but he's definitely looking over his shoulder, and it's just a matter of time. And within 2 days, he was tracked down.
Stop there. Stop there, you're under arrest on suspicion of shoplifting due to your criminal behaviour order.
This police body cam footage captures the moment he was found.
Hold on.
Further
I'm not being aggressive. I'm being abusive.
Carl,
no, I'm not.
further under
Yeah, show him whatever, mate.
He's still under caution.
Whatever, kid.
With the CCTV images they have of the suspects, police were able to proceed with prosecutions against the men they arrested. People are asking what impact AI will have on our society. Both the police and the military will always use technology to help catch criminals, but there'll never be a substitute for boots and eyeballs on the ground. SAS selection is the hardest selection in the world. You are tested physically, mentally and emotionally. But it's not about the fastest, the fittest or the biggest. It's about the person who can think outside the box and find a solution. It's not about an image. Over in East London, there are some small family businesses of the sort you won't see in the West End. And it's home to a shop owner who was using her wits to fight thieves.
Thank you. My name's Katie and I run a family business, a hardware store. It means a lot because my great-granddad had it and then my granddad, now my mum, then me. And we've been running it for over 70 years. We've had customers that have spent their whole life coming here. We see their kids, we've seen their parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. It's a really nice feeling to know that we're a sense of the community, not just a business.
Katie took over the reins in 2015 alongside her mum. She soon learned about the cost of shoplifting. £1.8 billion was stolen from stores in 2023, and some of that was from here.
So we have about 3 to 4 attempted thefts or shoplifts a week. So within a month, in total, it'd probably be about £200 of loss.
And anti-shoplifting expert Sarah Bird speaks to small retailers regularly.
I've worked within the industry for 18 years and I have never seen retail crime to the scale that it is right now. Retail crime incidents are 100% increasing for people who work in stores, who own stores, particularly independents. It is a huge risk to try and tackle retail crime offenders alone. The advice would be to work with your community, work with law enforcement and speak to your neighbours.
Katie didn't want her hard-earned profits to be hit. She sought a way to use her own style of facial recognition to fight back. First off, the family got the shop kitted out with CCTV. And once they recorded the faces of suspected shoplifters and working within police guidelines, they tried to put a name to her face.
When we first started getting the CCTV footage, we were getting quite good, clear facial shots, so we thought if we use them, post them on Facebook or post them on any of our social media, then you're going to reach potentially hundreds of people, and then you get more help so we can put a name to the face. Everyone's on social media now.
And the response was staggering.
We did have a lot of people who knew the people. We were getting phone calls anonymously, messages with names, addresses, phone numbers. Some people were giving us like the full address.
With advice from the police, she gathered all the evidence she could so the police could make an arrest. And like a pro, Katie decided to take her mission up a level to prevent further crimes.
And then we thought, we're definitely not the only ones in the area that suffer with it. So we've got a group chat going with all the local businesses. I think there's over 70 of us in there at the moment. And it allows us to notify anyone instantly, like look out for this person, he's on the way, to give them a heads up.
Now, local shopkeepers can respond quick time. I respect that.
So if he's walking down the street and he's 2 shops up, but I've already sent it to the chat that they know the guy in the red hat with the blue jumper, you're going to notice him. And if that stops one more crime down the street, then hopefully it will make him move on, not try it again. He knows that everyone's watching him.
Taking out a key shoplifter could be a big deal.
80% of the crime committed in stores against retail comes from 20% of offenders. So primarily local prolific offenders, repeat offenders who are in, day out, impacting retail are the ones who are causing the biggest issues.
It's definitely a way of us all keeping connected. And even if you're not physically fighting back, if everyone knows, it allows all the shops to act as one.
Just down the road, the local gadget shop where Mohammed works is just one of many businesses feeling the benefits of Katie's handiwork.
Katie is definitely a hero. Having the group did bring the whole community together a lot more. A shoplifter can be anybody. When someone is shoplifting another store, we'd be in the group, we'll be updated straight away. And if these people do walk into our shop, we already know to be wary of them.
Katie's use of simple facial recognition means the business is still going strong.
I've probably caught, since 2015, well over 100 shoplifters. There has been a significant drop in repeat offenders. The word goes back to them that we're looking for them. We know what they look like, we know what they've done. They're not coming back.
In the military, you are trained to expect the unexpected. As a civilian, you can't live your life like that. And that's when con men can strike.
Reports estimate 20 to 40 billion pounds get spent on home improvements across the country every year. In Wiltshire, airline pilot Jamie Sharp was after a new garage and got a decent quote from a guy he found online.
When I first met the builder, he presented himself very, very professionally, very smart, knew exactly what we wanted. Quote was received, it was higher than normal. He wanted a fairly sizable deposit up front, which is slightly unusual for me, because I'd done a fair bit of building work before, but after taking up references, pictures of old jobs, decided to go for it. First week, the amount of work that was done was really impressive. And then at the end of the week, more money was asked for, which at that point, I could see where my money was going, so it seemed to make sense. And I was okay to hand over more money up front.
But Jamie didn't stay happy for long.
The next phase started a lot slower. Chaps were turning up later, so the rate of progress in week 2 had seriously dropped off. I'd paid a lot of money up front at this point for materials. The outside of the garage has sort of traditional old stone that we had paid for, and it was constantly said it will arrive, and then we was going, well, we have to stop work until the stone arrives, and it was day by day, well, when's the stone going to arrive? We eventually contacted the stone merchant ourselves. They said it's sitting on their yard, hasn't been paid for, but we were assured it had been paid for, and it just was waiting to be delivered. So that was probably the first proper warning sign that he'd said to us he'd paid for the stone, but the merchant said no, he was awaiting payment.
Jamie carried on with normal life, but was worried.
I think when the roof was half on, no stone delivered, we were waiting for some steel work as well. One day just didn't turn up.
Jamie took pictures of the work. The builder wanted thousands more for extra costs, and Jamie wouldn't pay, so the builder just left the job looking like this.
I'd paid the builder about £42,000, which was, as I say, about 80% of the total build cost, but was left with breeze block shell of what didn't even really look like a garage, and lots of mess and building materials around the garden. It really was quite a state.
Jamie spoke to some of the people who had posted reviews online. Turns out, like him, they were happy initially, but soon realised they had been fooled.
I found out that actually this was a pattern. There were several other people who were affected a lot worse than me, did make it feel quite raw for quite a long time.
Trading Standards took up the case and pursued the rogue builder, who had left projects half done.
Trading Standards, they were fantastic, very understanding, kept me in the picture all the time, very professional. I got the feeling they weren't going to let it lie, they were going to see it through to the end.
Whilst Trading Standards investigated the builder, Jamie was forced to pay someone else to come and finish the garage. A simple job ended up as a painful experience. But ultimately, justice was done.
Eventually, with dogged determination and many years later, got a conviction. I believe the builder pleaded guilty to the problems he caused us and several other people.
He got 4 years in jail, and Jamie has a few thoughts for anyone with concerns.
Any advice I'd say if you were going through a similar project is to trust your gut instincts. If something doesn't feel right, you speak to family and friends. And most of all, don't go down the rabbit hole of throwing good money after bad. The promise that once a project started, that it can't continue unless you throw more money at it. I think that's a huge red flag.
Rogue traders cost people £3.5 billion a year and spread misery. It's vital to investigate them. One of the similarities between the SAS and the police is the sheer scale of operations going on across the UK. All intel-led, planned with precision and with a code name as well. Here we are in Reading, working off Druid and supported by Thames Valley Police. We're about to pay some suspected rogue traders a visit. Stand by. I'm meeting West Berkshire Trading Standards. They have spent months tracking down several men they suspect are rogue traders. Members of the public called Trading Standards to investigate, and now Trading Standards have called the police to assist.
Thanks very much for coming along. This is a group of people that's doing building work. These know what they're doing. They're going in, taking all the money on the pretense that they're finished the build, but they never do, and then they just walk away. The value is quite high, so we're talking about £120,000 at one property, £50,000 at another. Just look for the main essentials, i.e. paperwork, mobile phone, laptop. The main thing I want is the mobile phones. Thanks very much, everybody, and thanks for your help.
The team think they have found 20 victims of this type of crime, with nearly £1 million taken over several years. I want to know more from Trading Standards Officer Martin Woodley. He's got an MBE for his services fighting conmen.
The con is they start the work and they get to a stage and then they keep saying we need more money. So they keep paying this money over. And the threat is if you don't get it, we'll just shift all the blokes off. And of course they've got a half-built property, they've got no roof, all the property's open to the elements.
So he'd probably take on 2 or 3 clients.
Oh yeah,
or victims, and then close the company down. And move it. And that's what he's doing.
Then they start another company.
Right.
Yeah. So they've done that. That's 3 years running now.
It's a known mode of operating for rogues. Get money up front, then don't complete a job. Then close down the company so you're harder to find. With 2 suspects on the hit list today, the team are going to divide and conquer. 2 simultaneous strikes to keep the element of surprise. One of the suspects is believed to be living at his parents' house. That's where I'm headed. So very similar to like an SAS-style strike, we'll move to what we'd call a polite point or a final sort of rendezvous point. Final bits of the jigsaw put together, last bit of orders, any changes, because in this case it's a simultaneous strike, 2 strikes going together, so timing is critical. Martin and the team are just putting the final bits together now. Last bit of intel on the target before the strike. Stand by. Now both teams are in position. Several miles away, ex-police detective turned Trading Standards Officer Claire has her team in place.
So we've reached the second location. We're just parked around the corner from the address, myself and the police unit. We're just doing surveillance to see if anyone comes and goes from that address in the time that the other unit are at the second address. We're just watching and waiting, really.
Building workers start early, so the police want to strike now. Okay, so the go has been given now, the simultaneous strike. The first one's in position. We're moving in position now into the target house. Let's go.
So everyone pokes their head out. Cameras on?
Yeah. The dudes, there's a guy up at the top window here now.
Contact. Please. We've got warrant search address. We've got warrant search address. Please. Can you put the dog away? Yeah.
No suspect. His parents say he's moved out. Suspects are often hard to locate in these investigations. Maybe Trading Standards Officer Claire and her police team are having more luck at the address of another suspect rogue trader.
During the warrant, we're mainly going to be looking for phones, electronic devices, any paperwork that relates to the company. The phones we're going to want to download to see if there's messages between the suspects as well as with the consumers, so we can evidence them. So there's lights on at the top that have actually gone off, and there's 2 cars parked out the front, so I'm hopeful he's there.
Hello, it's the police. Can you open the door, please? Hello, can you...
That's our target.
Is that your phone there? That one looks on charge. It's going to be coming with us, mate. What's your PIN so I can lock it? We're literally taking it with us.
It's my phone.
Yeah, I understand. But we'll be seizing it.
That's fine, but I'm not going to help speak.
The suspect isn't playing ball, but the police don't need his help. He's arrested. The team will look for any evidence linking him to ripping off clients. Claire wanted to find paperwork, and after a search, she finds an application for £150,000 of funding for a business venture, naming several of Trading Standards suspects as part of the deal. Back at my location, we're trying a tactical approach to find the missing suspect. The police try a trick I've used on missions, looking for wanted men, calling the suspect direct from a phone they always pick up from. In this case, his dad's.
It's the police. Where are you at? Because we need to speak to you, mate. There's an investigation by Trading Standards, and they've identified you as a key suspect. They've got some bits to speak to you about at the police station. But I just want you to know the seriousness of it. This isn't like us just asking, it's like we're saying this is serious enough for us to come to your house. It's Thursday morning. Is that going to be realistic, mate? Because I don't want you to agree to it and then stand us up, yeah? I'd rather you just be straight with me. Now I need you to agree, 10:30, do you know Loddon Valley Police Station?
The suspect agrees to turn himself in.
We got to the house where we expected him to be. He's not here, he's away. They've got communication now from the mum and dad via phone, and he's playing ball to a degree, but this ain't going away.
Take care, thanks a lot, bye.
I mean, he's sweating. That's a fact. He's sitting there going, what do I do now? There'll be a call right now to his family, you know, and they're probably stressed out. And if he's got anything about him, he'll do the decent thing and probably come to you. But if he doesn't, here's Johnny, you're coming. And back at the station, I ask investigator Claire how she got on with the suspect who was being arrested. How did your task go?
Our suspect was there at the address, so he was swiftly arrested by the police. In carrying out the warrant, we got an iPad, a laptop, his phone, and we also got some paperwork in the company name. Yeah.
Great to hear that you actually got a result and you got the person we're after, so...
Yeah, so we're just waiting to interview him now, and we've got 6 cases to discuss with him.
You've got him in custody, you've got control of him, this is when you'll get the evidence that you require. Just like we used to do in the days of the SAS, you know, going, take the target down, and that shock of capture moment, which is all about time. So I'm not going to hold you back. I know this time now is key for you to get the evidence that you require. So great job, and go. Get the pressure on him, don't let him off.
We'll see what he's got to say.
Good effort, well
Thank
done.
you.
Surviving interrogation is a skill they teach you in the SAS. But in this case, I'm hoping the suspects tell all they know and reveal if there are any other people Trading Standards should be looking for. I've been working with West Berkshire Trading Standards. They've arrested 2 suspects they believe are part of a group of rogue traders who don't complete jobs. And now I'm heading back out with the team. It's the early hours of the morning and they have a fresh operation plan. After interviewing the 2 suspects, Trading Standards think they have identified an address for a 3rd suspect they are keen to find. And they think he may be the ringleader. Intelligence suggests he's staying at his girlfriend's house.
We're doing a arrest attempt today. For you guys, the background is a kind of rogue trading, fraud, quite large investigation. And this guy's one of the subjects. So, attend the address, ideally get cover at the rear. Is everyone ready? Okay.
So the teams are just going to mount up now into their vehicle convoy, shake out, get everybody in the order of march. Again, a military-style movement. And then as soon as we get the clearance, we'll roll to target and strike just before it gets light. How long does it take you to build up a case against this guy?
So we got the complaint last year, so it could take about 6 months to get all the evidence together.
So basically the intel started with a complaint from a victim?
Yeah, as soon as we got that, then we're on to our intel system.
Right. So we've just pulled up just short of the target. In the military terms, a lie-up point. We'll do a quick final sort of shakeout and then just hit the target. So this is the house where he may well be. This is actually his girlfriend's house, so the teams are into position at the front. We've got security at the back in case there's any runners, and we're going to go for the soft approach.
Mr. Police, come to the door, please. Hello, anyone home? Mr. Police, come to the door.
Nothing. Police need to decide if the suspect could be here and hiding. So while that's going on now, still trying to gain entry, the vehicle's parked outside. They do a vehicle registration check just to see if they're linked to the actual suspect that we're waiting for. Still at the same address, and basically what has turned up now is these two vehicles are related to the suspect that we're after. So they're going to put more pressure on just in case they're hiding in the back room.
They're inside.
Still nothing. But the team won't give up until they get a result. I'm out with trading standards in Reading. We are hunting down a suspect who may be the lead man in a group of building rogue traders. Intel suggests he may be staying at his girlfriend's house here. After 10 minutes, no one is answering, but police ain't buying it.
If we can just establish some communication, we'll try and negotiate him to come out. We do think he's inside.
Yeah.
Cars are outside.
Yeah.
Neighbours said they last saw him last night or yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
But we've got the address contained, so now's a good time to kind of like
We'll try and give him a call.
give him a call, yeah.
But now, there's movement. The suspect's girlfriend was inside all along.
Yeah, we need to talk to about something. I think he might be at work. Why did it take you so long to get to the door?
I'm just looking.
But police are suspicious. There's a different reason.
Okay, and why aren't you letting us come in just so we can check? Just one of us. All I want to do is stick my head in.
You haven't got one.
Can I don't want to have to go down the route of forcing entry.
Jamie, wherever it is, you come to the police section. It's not clear.
I don't believe you.
That's fine, but I told you, you're not coming in. I'm not having it. Like, I'm pretty sure you'll stay in. I'm giving him a call, ask him where he is.
I believe he's inside, mainly because of your demeanour, your response to the police.
No, I'm annoyed that you're at the front door.
So basically what's happened now is the girlfriend of the suspect has finally answered the door after about 15 minutes of a soft approach. There's a bit of standoff for exactly what is going on inside, but perseverance will continue until entry is made.
I suggest you go and put a dressing gown on quickly, because you've got about 30 seconds before we come in.
Officers prop the door with a boot. They don't need a warrant if they believe a suspect may be inside.
Come on, stop playing games. I'm conscious that he could be inside hiding from us right now, and your delaying isn't helping. Please let us go and do our job. This doesn't concern you. You're escalating this unnecessarily. We're not here for you, we're here for him.
Instinct is telling this officer he needs to get inside.
Take your shoes off. Oh, okay.
Now, officers can sweep the house and check the girlfriend's story. And guess what? They found the suspect rogue trader. He was upstairs the whole time.
You've got him.
He's mate hiding away.
Oh, they've just got him. They've just got him.
So as you can see, the information, the surveillance paid off, and we're at the target house. Final check. There was a good 5 or 10 minutes of knocking the door, no answer. Sixth sense says old, which we did, and it just shows perseverance. We will not go away. They will stay until the person is detained, and that's exactly what's happening now. That's him now, off to custody to be processed. I think your 6 cents paid off there with the perseverance. I'm guessing that was just a delaying tactic.
Absolutely a delaying tactic, but we got what we came for, we got him, and it was worth persevering, for sure. There are cases where we don't need a warrant and we can enter with force if we need to, and this was one of those times.
Great result, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Good effort.
Now the forensic search begins. Has he hidden crucial evidence inside?
It's a case of talking to him now and then, putting the file together and also having a look what we find on his phone and the paperwork.
So that's the whole team wrapped up and the main man off the street?
Yeah, for now. Yeah, absolutely.
Great job. Well done.
And inside, trading standards find documents they think contain vital evidence. Their job now is to carry out a thorough investigation.
A lot of hard work and perseverance, but job done. The police could have walked away, but instinct and training made them persist. As I say, always a little further.